Hey, so today we're talking about the next iteration of society. Now, as we all know, nothing lasts forever, and the same goes for society. The human race is advancing at a faster rate than ever, and big things are changing, so society needs to change with them. So there's this idea of technological determinism, which is a reductionist theory that assumes a society's technology determines the development of its social structure and cultural values. Now, this is really simplified, but kind of true. In reality, there's a real push-pull relationship between society and technology, but we end up finding a medium. So there's this idea that society is entering its third wave, and that idea is from these guys. I recommend looking at it because basically this whole video is just a rip-off of that. Anyway, now the basic idea of this is that society has gone through certain waves where it values certain things more than others. In the first wave economy, land and farm labour were the main factors of production that everyone valued the most. In the second wave economy, the land sort of remains valuable, but labour becomes intensified and people value machines and larger industries even more. Now we're moving into a third wave economy, where the central resource is information. All the previous resources like land, labour, oil, etc. all remain important, but the central focus is now on information and networks. With the rise of the internet and automation, what's quickly becoming apparent is the most valuable thing we have is creativity and information. That other stuff is all sorted and it's not that valuable anymore. We need to continue our ascension. Now, this transition means a few different things for us, but basically what it boils down to is society is going to have to change a lot in response to the new technologies we have. A few of the big things outlined by those guys are as follows. We have the nature of property, particularly intellectual property, is going to have to change. Who owns the spectrums we communicate on? Who owns the wires and stuff? Who owns intangible capital, and how do we control it? Or not control it? Another thing that's going to change is the global marketplace. With the internet, we're finding better economic equilibrium, and we're going to have to focus more on dynamic competition rather than static competition. This is sort of like double loop learning and single loop learning. Single loop learning or static competition is like making your horse faster than the other horse, whereas dynamic competition, double loop learning, is more akin to making a car to outrun the horse. We're also going to have to deal with issues of freedom and privacy, particularly what makes us individual, and how do we enforce rules on privacy, among other things. We live at a very interesting time in history. We are the first generation to experience the new third wave, and the last generation to experience the second wave. These guys argue the reason it could be why many people feel so disenfranchised. We are applying second wave ideologies to the new world, and it just doesn't fit. It's like trying to put the square piece in the round hole. Now, they argue that the government, in particular, is going to have to change a lot in order for society to change. Now, if you've done Economics 101, a lot of this is going to sound familiar, but bear with me. They argue that the internet needs to develop by itself without government intervention, sort of like a free market approach. They also want the government to remove barriers to entry onto the internet, so everyone can use it. They want to promote dynamic competition, which is that double loop learning we were talking about before, and they need, especially, to redefine property rights. We also need to change the way, particularly accounting, measures the value of services. Traditionally, in the second wave, we measured physical things, products off a construction line. In the third wave, everything's intellectual. We need to find a way to value this. And most importantly, they argue, we need to roll over to a truly third wave government. And this means we have one that focuses its policies on uniqueness, decentralising control, not encouraging geographic centralisation so people can work from home and cities sort of spread out, and one that truly understands that not one size fits all. It needs to have diversity within a broad framework of shared values. As for the future, no one exactly knows where it's going, but one thing is certain, it's going to change.